I hope you all had wonderful and engaging conversations in your breakout groups. Ours for Sonoma Water was small and intimate, but we really got to dive into a couple of topics and have a good conversation. So what I'm going to ask, hopefully in each of your breakout groups, there was a person or two who was identified who would report out, because we would really like to, and we, meaning the water utilities, would really like to hear from teachers about how we can continue to provide career opportunities and resources for you all. And so if you had, we only have about 15 minutes total. So if each report out can be 3 to 4 minutes of some really, give us some of the best nuggets from your topic that the rest of the group can benefit from. So maybe we'll start with Central SAN. Was there someone in the Central SAN breakout group who is willing to report out?
This is Corey. Kyle, I hope you don't mind me putting you on the spot, but I just sent a message to Kyle about your observation.
Yeah, sure. I can talk a little bit about what our group talked about. Some of the things that the people in our group thought would be useful were getting data and actual lab materials to test water samples and bacterial samples from the plant so that it could get the students involved hands-on. Another thing was just about language and the specialized academic language in talking about water and making that more accessible for students so that they can conceptualize and understand all the things that go into water a little bit more, to bring it closer to bring the process, the treatment process closer to what they see in their everyday lives, and to see that it is something that they can get involved in more at a more professional level.
Great, thank you for sharing out, Kyle. Anyone else from Central SAN and your breakout group? Great, let's move to East Bay Mud. Did you end up with 2 breakout groups, correct?
Actually, Joey Rodriguez was just going to share. Do you want us to? Do you want to say something, Joey?
Yeah, the only thing that I was gonna add on top of it is if we can get some sort of materials with career paths into our career centers, because I know the school that I happen to work at isn't very encouraging of your non-traditional 4-year path. So if we can just get like small little pamphlets or presentations that students who maybe aren't on a 4-year degree path can look at, I think that'd go a long way.
That sounds great. And whether they're on a career path of school, or continuing ed or not, there's a lot that's about water and wastewater. A sector uses all levels and all different strengths that different people bring to the jobs that there are, all the way from, you know, hot PhDs, civil engineers, from people that have high school degrees that also need to be customer service oriented. If they're doing collections out in the field, they have to be able to, you know, talk to people who get stressed out if their pipes aren't working well. So it's a whole slew of different jobs.
Yeah.
That is a really good segue to the East Bay Mud session, where there was some discussion around our online resources and the materials that we have. We can, instead of having information that makes sense to us, having information that's organized around specific kind of career pathways. So folks who are not inclined to do a 4-year college or university education, putting all the information in one spot so they don't have to know, oh, well, skilled trades is somewhere to look, and this over here, these other careers and operations are also something to look at. If we can make it simpler and kind of put ourselves in the shoes of someone that may not be, is looking for alternatives to the 4-year university. So that was one of the things. Other things that were discussed were virtual career fairs and virtual classroom presentations, doing more of those. And I know our staff at East Bay Mud and staff from a lot of our BAYWORK agencies love being able to go out into the classroom. It mixes up their day a little bit, and they love interacting with the next generation. Also, we had a number of folks that were previously part of BAYWORK teacher externships, which is really great. We had some of the alumni there, and they talked about the need to make sure we're continuing to touch base, to reconnect with our teacher externs, so that we don't kind of send them off on their own and kind of they don't hear from us again. So they want to keep hearing from us. There were some questions around, can we create more curriculum? And the discussion was really about the teachers are really the experts for creating curriculum. And if teachers are creating curriculum, we can help facilitate the sharing of that curriculum between different teachers on specific subjects and to meet NGSS standards. Well, anything that I missed, James or Kristen or anyone else that was in that room?
Can I just interject that for those who are interested in seeing the curriculum that was developed during those externships, it's on our website, the BAYWORK website. And if you go to the educator tab on our website and then you go to curriculum, you'll see lots of different kinds of curriculum, including something we call Ignited Water curriculum. And Ignited was the CBO that worked with us on this project. And so you can actually click on one of the links and see the curriculum that was developed. So I'll stop sharing that, but it's available.
Excellent. Anything else from the East Bay Mud breakout? Great. How about Valley Water? Would you like to share from your session?
Sure. And some of the things that has been said already came out in our session as well. I just want to add a few things to it. And two, in terms of question one about how we can help with resources, talked again about classroom participation with online stuff related to how the water system works, just some close-up looks at how the water system works. And also the math and science component of showing the relevance of math and science component and how the things that they're teaching in those subjects and how it applies to the water industry. I did mention that we do have a contextualized learning document on our website that speaks to this in some degree, but making some of these crazy formulas and these polynomials and all this other stuff make sense and how it is used within the industry was what was brought up. And then also in terms of the second question, how can we get the students interested? It was said that I'm talking more to the counselors because the counselors tend to talk to the students about college versus talking to them about careers. And so that's one way in. And then also some relevance toward pay scales and things of that nature. John, you were breaking up when you were explaining, when you were talking about this, and also we got cut off and got brought back into the main group. So we didn't get all out what you were saying, but maybe perhaps you can share that now, John.
Thank you very much, Robert. Yeah, I was saying that our students really have to have some kind of an idea of what they should be looking forward to when they get out of high school. And if they could see the opportunities that are available, and that is opportunities from maintenance people, through electricians, through plumbers, through professional people like yourself, for engineers, for people who are administrators. It would be nice for them to be able to see what those jobs are, how they touch your industry, and perhaps give them an idea of what's in it for them. What kind of pay scales are associated with these things? Why would somebody perhaps want to go to college and develop some skills, be they organizational skills or engineering skills? Is there something that they would care about? I have a lot of students who are first generation in this country. These are the kind of things that they are particularly interested in. So that was what I was trying to get at.
All right. Thanks, John.
Great. Robert, John, thank you for reporting out. Let's move to our session. Thomas, do you mind providing an overview of our discussion in the Sonoma Water Breakout Group?
No, glad to. We started with an overview of what the industry was. I mean, and that in terms of having the students, and I teach science and engineering at Sonoma Valley High, having them understand first and foremost, what dealing with water means, then is a gateway to starting to explain the range of careers that might be available to them. From treating the water, being a mechanic, being a chemist, that they have no idea. So the same way my eyes were opened, it'd be um, great to have the resources online to do this. And in terms of resources, right now we're developing curriculum that is looking towards remote learning, as an integral part of our teaching in some aspect for at least the next year. So the more that we can get online, whether it's recorded or access to people in your industry, the better it's going to be as we go down, because this is our world now. It's a two-dimensional world, but it still doesn't mean that we can't access a lot more in terms of being able to meet people in the industry like yourselves, or going on virtual tours, or for a lot of my students, that wouldn't see beyond what's here in the Valley, it can open up a lot more aspects of the Bay Area of the world by using lessons and resources like that. So the more you can give us online, the more we'll like it, because I'm not quite sure when I'm going to have the chance to see them face to face again.
Thank you, Thomas. So before I kick it over to Stephen to do a wrap up, teachers, anything else, any other information you want to provide to us in this kind of open forum as we continue to revamp a future workshop, but also as each of our independent utilities develop resources to provide career exposure? Anything else for the good of the group here?
Will there be teacher externship in the near future again?
Michael, would you or Corey like to answer that?
Sure, I'll try and answer that. We don't actually. We're having one next week, but it's too late to register for that one. And that will, like this one today, will be our first virtual event. It's being hosted by Valley Water. Thank you, Valley Water. And so we will see how that goes. And we don't currently have anything else scheduled for our externships. They're week-long events, and so we pay a significant stipend to the teachers to participate, and so that takes some resources on our part, and we will continue to look for those resources and evaluate how things go virtually next week.
Great. I just thank you, Charles. Charles Brown just said he's going to include water treatment in this year's distance learning chemistry and biotech curricula. So I'd love to hear how that goes. So thank you for doing that, and keep us posted. And like Michael said, actually on our BAYWORK.org website, we have some chemistry curricula that we developed that you're free to download and change at will and modify, but it also has a companion video that goes along with the exercises. So some are funny, some are serious videos. I think we have like 4 of them. So yeah, it's a contextualized learning. So the idea is to bring a real life problem and then come up with math or science solutions.
Thank you everyone for coming and joining us today. We're really thrilled to have had you here and to be part of this conversation with you. If you check the chat, you'll see that Michael sent out a SurveyMonkey link for an evaluation. Really, really valuable if you take a few minutes to complete the survey for us, give us some feedback on what worked, what didn't work. As Michael said, this is our first time doing virtual. This was originally planned to be a workshop on wheels. We were gonna ask you all to get on the bus with us and come visit some of our facilities. We had to pivot And we're learning how to do things virtually. We're learning what works. We're learning what doesn't work. We know you guys have a lot of experience from the end of last year about online learning and online sharing. So any feedback or insights you can provide would be greatly appreciated. So check the link. Again, Michael just reposted it. If you don't have time to do the survey now, we will be sending out emails, follow up with that same link so you can complete the survey. So whether you do it now, I think we prefer that. We love immediate feedback. If you're not able to do it now, check your email and we'll definitely love to hear from you when you have time.
Yes, and Julia just posted a question that I said that will there be a document that includes useful links and contacts from people and organizations from today made available? Yes, we're going to after this we're going to combine where we can the presentations onto our BAYWORK.org resources pages for past events, and so you'll be able to access the presentations, many of the presentations that you saw today, along with the edited video that I'll be trying to squish down a little bit, so it won't be 4 hours long, or I don't think anybody will sit through that, no matter how fascinating it is. But we're really, really thrilled that, to have you on our pilot kickoff, first time virtual live streaming with breakout rooms. And I hope you enjoyed it. We sure enjoyed meeting all of you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.